Our today's topic is about Kelvin cycle or C3 cycle. Okay, so let's start. Suppose within the leaf, this is a mesophyll cells. Within the mesophyll cells, this is the boundary of a chloroplast. Okay, so within the chloroplast, already we know that this is the thylakoid. I have shown here one thylakoid. Within the thylakoid, light reactions takes places. So this is the sunlight. It comes to the thylakoid region, photosystem 2, photosystem 1. So in this way here light reaction takes places, and ultimately what are the products? The products are actually NADPH and ATP. Actually ADP with phosphates, it converted into adenosine triphosphate, and this NADP adds with combines with H positive ions and produce NADPH. How it is produced, it has been already discussed in the previous lecture. Just recap these things. What are the main products of light reaction? NADPH and ATP. So this is the granar region or thylakoid, and this rest of the portions are stroma, where the dark reactions takes places. Actually in the dark reactions means these dark reactions actually depends on the product of light reaction. What are the products? One is the NADPH and second one is this ATP. Clear? Now first, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere or from the mitochondria as a product of respiration comes, and this carbon dioxide enters into a cycle, and within this cycle as a byproduct glucose is produced. For this cycle enzymes are required. This ATP acts as an energy source, and this NADPH is required. Okay, so this is the ultimate cycle. This is called C3 cycle or Kelvin cycle. Why it is known as C3 cycle or Kelvin cycle, it will be clear now. But just remember that. So this is the process where carbon dioxide enters and a cycle is going on, and as a result glucose is produced. But this ATP which is produced in the light reaction act as an energy source, and this NADPH, this NADPH gives hydrogen to the carbon dioxide. Ultimately CO2 is reduced and form the glucose. Clear? So now we will discuss in detail about the C3 cycle. But first see, in the previous lecture I have told that carbon dioxide plus H2 equal to glucose. This hydrogen comes from the water source, and here I have told that NADPH gives the hydrogen to carbon dioxide. Actually in the lumen of the thylakoid, this water is broken down and formed H positive ions. These H positive ions forcefully exit through this F0 particle, and then this H positive ion combines with NADP and ultimately form NADPH, and this NADPH provides hydrogen to the carbon dioxide and glucose is formed. Clear? But why it is called C3 cycle or Kelvin cycle? Actually the scientist Melvin Kelvin first observed this in algae. This is algal photosynthesis. Okay, that's why according to his name it's known as Kelvin cycle. And why it is C3 cycle, it will be clear now. So first see, carbon dioxide is present from the atmosphere or from the mitochondria, whatever is this carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is accepted by a primary acceptor. See here a primary acceptor is present, which is called ribulose biphosphate. 5 carbons membered, 1 2 3 4 5 5 carbons membered, and there are 2 phosphates. Okay, this is ribulose biphosphate or RUBP. When it accepts carbon dioxide, it becomes 6 carbon member, but it is very unstable compound. Okay, at the same time it is converted into 3 carbon compound, 3 carbon, 2 molecules of 3 carbon compound, that is called 3 phosphoglyceric acid. 1 2 3 carbon, again 1 2 3 carbon, means this 6 carbon unstable compound is broken down and converted into 3 carbons, 2 molecules of 3 phosphoglyceric acid. This is the first stable compound having 3 carbons. That's why the cycle is called C3 cycle. Okay, so first process is called carboxylation process, and Rubisco is required for this transformation. So again it reduced and 3-phosphoglyceric acid is converted into phosphoglyceraldehyde. But here also the number of carbon is same. Here also 3 carbon, here also 3 carbon. 2 molecules and each molecule having 3 carbons. But for this reduction, 2 ATP molecule and 2 molecules NADPH is also required. And from this 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde, with the help of ATP, it is regenerated into again ribulose biphosphate or RUBP. And from this, glucose is produced. Okay, but see here how many carbons are there? 5 carbons. But you have to carry out this cycle 6 times. So we multiply it into 6. 5 carbon, if the cycle will continue 6 times, means 5 into 6, 30 carbon here. Then 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde, 3 carbon compound, 2 molecules, means 3 total 6. 3 carbon into 6 means 36 carbons. Again it is converted into phosphoglyceraldehyde. Here also 36 carbons. From phosphoglyceraldehyde, okay, it is regenerated into RUBP. RUBP means 30 carbon. So from here it is regenerated into 30 carbon, and the remaining 6 carbon will produce the glucose. Okay, so not far, we have to complete the 6 cycles, then the glucose is formed. This is the Calvin cycle or C3 cycle. Clear?